Pennsylvania Senate race comes down to Democrat Joe Sestak, who beat party flip-flopper Arlen Specter in the Democratic primary, and Pat Toomey, a small government free market activist who beat a traditional big government Republican candidate in that party's primary. Polls show a very tight race, which is why we're actually surprised Joe Sestak did not respond to our invitation to appear today. But Pat Toomey did, and he joins me now. There's a very, very slight delay between where former Congressman Toomey is and where we are, and we apologize for that. So, Pat, how do you sell to the people of Pennsylvania the idea that the government has no business micromanaging the economy, bailing out banks, bailing out labor unions and automobile manufacturers, and telling them what to do about health care?
Well, Judge, thanks for having me on. The good news is it's not a hard sell. I think most Pennsylvanians understand that we can't borrow and spend our way to prosperity. The government is not the source of opportunity and wealth creation. Pennsylvanians don't believe we should have done all those bailouts. We should be doing this staggering spending. They don't agree with the government-run health care. So, my mission is to make it clear, make sure everybody knows that I'm on the side of limited government and free enterprise and fiscal discipline. Joe Sestak's been on the side of Nancy Pelosi. That's the contrast. That's the choice in this race.
Is Congressman Sestak running away from his vote in favor of health care like many other Democrats are in this 11th hour when they see how truly unpopular it is with the electorate?
Judge, he's been running away from his entire voting record. He spent the last 4 years in Congress voting for Nancy Pelosi's entire agenda. His only criticism of it has been that it doesn't go far enough. He says that about the stimulus bill, which he says should have been $1 trillion, the bailouts, of which he voted for every one and then introduced his own bailout bill, the health care bill, which he voted for and in committee even voted for a version that would have allowed states to ban all private health insurance. Joe's not defending that record at all. He's making up these dishonest attacks against me instead because he knows he can't defend that. But I just don't think the people of Pennsylvania are going to fall for it.
One of his attacks has to do with Social Security. Social Security is bankrupt, is unconstitutional, and it's a Ponzi scheme. If a private group of people did something like that, the feds would arrest them. What do we do about Social Security? What do we do about all these entitlements that are choking us to death?
Well, I wouldn't agree with your characterization, Judge. I've argued that people who are already retired or close to retirement absolutely have to get all the benefits promised. It would be really unreasonable. It'd be outrageous to pull the rug out from under people who paid into a system their whole working life. But what I've argued is that we know the demographics of America are what they are, and we can't change that. And so in its current form, this program is not sustainable for the indefinite future. So I've argued that young workers ought to be given a choice. Give them the choice. If they want to participate in the current system as designed, that's fine. But if they'd like to have a choice to take a portion of their payroll tax and accumulate savings and let those accumulated savings over the 40 or 45 years most people work, let that become the basis of a significant portion of their retirement benefit, those workers would be a lot better off, and we could solve the government's financing problem. So I think that's the direction we should consider.
Got it. Pat Toomey, thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you on election night. He shocked